What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is finally Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Noizet, and I want to welcome each and every one of you here tonight. And I want to thank you all for taking the time to come hang out with your boy. I really, really do appreciate it. For anybody that's new here, we're gonna go over some of the news from the week. We got what do we have to talk about? We got some Fantastic Four updates to go over. And then what else did I say we had here? We got Fantastic Four. Y'all boy Anthony Mackie got into some sticky waters. I don't know, controversy, whatever you want to call it. Y'all reached out, y'all kept saying, man, what do you think about this? What do you think? Okay, we're gonna talk about it. And then of course we're gonna end off the live with a recap of episode 1 of season 2 for Loki. So quick heads up, if you have not watched Loki season 2 episode 1, just heads up, we're going to go spoil it and break it down right. And you know what, later on I'll probably break it off into a separate video, but for the sake of those that want to actually talk about the episode and go through it, maybe talk a little theories and stuff like that, we will save that for the end of the live. Okay, and then of course we'll talk about some other news here and there as well. Just a friendly reminder, if you want to participate, if you want to be a member of the livest of live chats and all of YouTube, all you got to do, free 99 now. Okay, this is free 99. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and you too will be able to comment and join in on all the festivities, and let your thoughts be known. Share them. Come and join and just have a good time. Because that's all we do around here is just have a good old time. So first and foremost, I got to go ahead and I got to give some shout outs real quick. Let me give some props to my man Terrence. Man, thank you, brother, so much for the $10 cash app. You said for the start of the NBA season, go Heat. Yeah, hey man, I'm sorry, man. Y'all Heat missed out on the Dame Lillard prize. Y'all were this close. I don't know how Milwaukee got him, but almost, but I gotta root for my Bulls. I don't think we're going anywhere, but I gotta root for them anyway. It's just what we gotta do. But thank you so much, brother. You always holding it down. And by the way, shout out to the replay gang. Again, I want to say very, very much from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys so much, especially Sharon. Sharon, I see you. You always coming through, hitting that thank you, leaving a little more support for the channel, even on the replays. I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Let's see. We got Kimmy. Let's see who's here. Kimmy's here. What's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. Ism Schisms here. What is up? My man, Jason Rodriguez. What's going on, man? Another top supporter of the channel. Thank you so much for being here. As I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. What is going on? Thank you so much, brother, for being here. Appreciate you always. Shar, what is up? How you doing? My man, Didier's here. Thank you for being here. And yes, the Bears finally got a win. It was tough. It was rough. I'm not gonna lie, I got a little nervous. Okay, like after halftime, I was like, Then we caught another touchdown. I was like, okay, it's third quarter. Washington was coming back on us. I was like, please don't do this again now. But we got it. Thank you so much, man. Another top supporter, Deborah Rodriguez. Thank you so much. Wait, it's your pre-birthday weekend. Absolutely, you can get your song. Hold on. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Happy pre-birthday to you, Ms. Deborah Rodriguez. You know what's very funny? It's actually the Mrs. Eman's pre-birthday weekend as well. So we gonna celebrate you. And while we're doing that, I'm gonna also celebrate my queen as well. But congratulations in advance, because I know you about to have a good time next week. I hope you celebrate. I hope you go big, you go have fun, go eat whatever you gotta eat, go drink whatever you're drinking, whatever it is, have a good time, please. And with that said, I should say, I don't know if we're gonna be live next week. I'm gonna try to, but it's the Mrs. birthday weekend next week. So just stay tuned, everybody. Stay tuned, just in case some things come up. But once again, happy birthday, Deborah. I hope you have a fantastic time. Let's see who else is here. Leandra, hello, good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Treese, what is up? Good to see you. L, hello, good to see you as well. Let's see, my man Dex Reason is back. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much for being here. MC, what's up? It has been a minute, but I'm glad you're here. Let's see, Allie girl, what's up? I know you catching the replay. All good. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see, 60 plus. Thank you so much for being here as well. It's getting a little cool up here in Chicago too. Nelson V, my man, what's going on? Thank you so much. Wouldn't be alive without Miss Harper. Always a pleasure. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see, my man Pierre's here. What is up? Let's see, the Dragon, how you doing? Namesake, what's going on? Thank you so much for being here. Jay, how you doing? Diamond, what is up? Gray, what's up? How are you? Daniel, thank you so much for being here. Corey, good to see you again. William, how you doing? The homie Rhonda's back. The other homie Christy is back. Good to see y'all. Thank you so much. We got the Mod Squad in the building with Kristen Pratt. How you doing, ma'am? Thank you so much for being here and holding it down. Samantha, how you doing? Thank you so much as well. Who else we got? Haitian Blue, Sac Passe. How you doing, brother? Thank you so much for being here. Let's see. Oh, yeah, I got my man Terrence in the building. Thank you so much, sir. Tyra, hello. Good to see you. My man Theo is back in action. Good to see you. What's up, Kid Mello? How you doing? Trouble Clef, what's up? Raymond, what's up? 60 plus, how you doing? Corey, how are you? My man Philroy is back. My man Johnny Washington's back as well. Anna Babe, hello. Kristen, how you doing? And shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. I always appreciate each and every one of y'all that take the time to come and support your boy and just be here. It really means a lot. All right, let's see. We got our first support here. Let's go. Natalie, thank you so much. Quit my job today. I start a better one soon. Okay, now. All right. Hey, all right. Listen, congratulations. Listen, it is a nice. I'm hopeful that you got something set up and you going to bigger and better things. But man, I know that felt good. Did you give him a 2 week? Or did you just drop it on him? Just be like, I ain't coming in today. And you quit on a Friday too? Oh, you had the whole weekend to marinate. Wow. I'm a little jealous. But congratulations on what is to come. So good for you. Let's see here. You did give him notice? Oh, you nice. I know some people wouldn't notice. Some people just bounce, hey. But let's see. Let me see what you said. You gave him 2 weeks and you have a long week. Listen, I hope you got them vacation days too. You know what I'm saying? Listen, get your money. All right. Let's see. What do we have? We're talking about money. What a segue. We're talking about money. All right. I don't know how many times I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but I've told y'all, ain't no way that any one of us can ever escape the inevitability of prices going up. Prices with streaming are gonna go up over and over, and that's just what we have to deal with. Now, there is a little caveat here. Even though it's understood prices are gonna go up, I'm not liking this new story right now. I'm not liking this. And this is actually from hold on, where we go? This is actually from Netflix. Okay, we got a new update here, and it says here, according to the Washington State Journal, or WSJ, Netflix will raise prices in several markets, starting with the US and Canada. And it also says here, the move, well, before we go to that, here's why I don't like this. I don't like this because y'all just raised the prices. Y'all just got done raising the prices, not what, a couple months ago? Now, don't get me wrong. I understand, maybe every other year or something like I get that. But damn, y'all just raised the price up. Now, granted, they did also introduce the ads supported, for slightly less and stuff like that. But it's like, yo, why are you at why? Of course, there's a reason why, and I don't like it. And unfortunately, this is one of those things that I kind of told y'all. It's gonna come around one way or another, no matter how you want to slice it. And this is one of the reasons why, or at least I think it's a reason why. It says the move to raise prices again also comes as Hollywood moves closer to getting back to work. So, what does that mean? Basically, the studio said, all right, we cut a deal with the directors. We gonna share some revenue with y'all. All right, we cut a deal with the writers. All right, we gonna share some revenue with y'all. They're probably going to cut a deal with the actors sometime soon, hopefully by next week. And they're gonna probably share some revenue. So what does that mean? That means that the studios are not gonna hit their normal bottom line. So what does that mean? They got to get it from somewhere else. And where's that somewhere else? You and me. They got to pass the buck to us. So basically, basically, rather than the studios taking a hit, they are going to take this out on the consumers to pay for and hopefully make up whatever they're losing in terms of what they have to pay the actors, writers, and directors. So listen, if you mean to tell me, now this is the news I would like to hear. I'd love to hear something like, executives chose not to get another $25 million bonus. If you tell me that y'all not getting no more crazy, stupid bonuses, you still get paid. Don't get me wrong. Get your money. But you mean to tell me that you not getting some stupid bonus and you hitting us? Okay, then I can understand just a little bit. But I would bet money them bonuses ain't finna get skipped. Now, them bonuses could potentially help us offset costs, but I don't see that happening. So I just don't like the timing of this. I don't really like the fact that the buck is getting passed to us. I don't think that's very fair. I mean, what are we supposed to do? Do we have to unionize? Do we get a slice of this too? I don't know. But don't nobody run with that. People gonna be like, man, what you gonna do? Recast Netflix? No, I ain't starting no movies. Leave me alone. But I would like to hear from you all. What do you think about Netflix coincidentally raising their prices right when the strike is about to get done? How does that make you feel? Whatever it is, let me know in the comments down below. I gotta give a shout out to my man Sean Evans. Thank you so much, man, for the $10 Cash App. You said for you're the best on YouTube. Oh man, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. Thank you very much, Sean. For real. Let's see, JN, what you got? What's up, E-Man? Let's talk about how many of the streaming services are putting out mid to terrible content. I'm going to need them to step it up. I could just pay more for cable. Yes, you could. You absolutely could. Now, here's the hope. The hope is by getting the writers and the actors back to work. The hope is that we will start getting better content. Listen, I told y'all, I ain't trying to watch, reality TV shows every other day. Like, I'm not trying to watch Kanye and Kim Kardashian's divorce reality TV show. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching Tiger King Part 5. I can only take so many true crime documentaries. At some point, I want something nice and scripted. By the way, this is a side note. Whoever gave me the recommendation, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was. Whoever gave me the recommendation for The Outsider on Netflix, on HBO, I'm almost done. I got 2 episodes left. Shout out to them because that show so far is really good. I haven't finished yet. I'm almost done, but The Outsider on HBO Max, I'm really liking it right now. But yeah, JN, to your point, listen, I mean, at the end of the day, they better come out with better content because I could tell you this, the only reason Netflix kind of hung around, especially during the pandemic, even though it was one of the most expensive streamers for so long, is because they had so much content. If you make it worth the price, people are not going to go anywhere. Now other streamers might get cut out, right? But like someone like Netflix, we'll probably still keep paying for them as long as they make it worth it. So if you're gonna raise the price, damn it, you better come with some fire. Because if you get to the point, let's say Netflix is what it is today, you get the same amount, no change. But then it's like, I don't know, $70 a month. You getting cut off. I'm sorry. There's no amount, like at some point, unless you finna bring the TV entertainment to my face in a live action, concert or something, at some point, people gonna be like, this is not worth it. So they're going to have to be very careful with raising these prices because y'all better deliver. If y'all don't deliver to make it worth the price, people will start to drift off eventually. So I don't think you're alone in your thoughts at all with that. Let's see. Oh, snaps. Hold on. We got some more love. Oh man, thank you so much. Come on, top supporter in the building. Loki, thank you so much for the $20 cash app. For Happy Friday right back to you, ma'am. And thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. We got a couple TV show updates. Just a couple shows that I think you guys have been watching, will be watching. So we got a couple updates. One of them, I think this was easy to predict. I don't think this was hard at all. But we do have an update for Ahsoka. For anybody who has not been following, or if you are a fan and maybe you just missed out, we have been doing live recaps and reviews and reactions every week. The season has finally concluded, so you can go check my channel. I think I'll make a playlist for it. But you check my channel, go through each episode. I know a lot of people have been like, man, I'm watching Ahsoka, but I got all these questions. Go watch the breakdowns, go read the comments, like be a part of the E-fam. Like that's how you stay caught up. But yeah, that will definitely help you. But we do have an update, and I think this was again a no-brainer. But it says here that according to a report from Deadline, there's a strong likelihood of a second season happening for Ahsoka, although it hasn't been officially confirmed. Currently, there are no obvious indications that Ahsoka will be returning in a television form, but so we may need to be patient and wait a little bit longer to see if it actually happens. So I think that's again a no-brainer. Y'all gotta do another season. And it's like, if you don't do another season, I wouldn't be mad at it, but you do need to continue the story because you're not gonna leave on that cliffhanger and just be like, all right, y'all, here comes Boba Fett season 2. First of all, just don't need it, don't want it, don't. So I'm excited for that. I can't wait for just more Ahsoka, period. So I'm fine with that. Next up, we got another thing that I'm happy about. Castlevania Nocturne. Oh my gosh. So again, I think I talked to y'all about this before, but Castlevania, it's on Netflix. First of all, it is one of their best animated properties on Netflix. One of these days, I'm gonna have to like really go through some of the hot animated stuff on Netflix. They have a really good catalog of low-key, underrepresented hidden gems of animated stuff. And Castlevania I don't know if it's underrated, but it's up there. It's so good. And this new season, I absolutely adored. I love the representation. I love the storytelling. I love the action. So if you haven't seen it, definitely go check it out. But we do have an update about this season. And that is we're getting another one. That's right. We do have Castlevania Nocturne season 2 has been confirmed. So you definitely can expect that to come back. And once again, the way, if you watched it, the way they ended it, you better continue it. You better, shoot. You'd be crazy if you didn't. I see in the comments people already listing stuff. Kangen Ashura, yes, that's another one right there. I'm a fan of Baki. I love watching Baki as well. It's too many. It's so many on there. Netflix really does come with it on the animated side. We also have something for Peacemaker. So it says here that season 2, or a fan asked James Gunn about season 2 of Peacemaker. Let me make that a little bigger for y'all. It says here, the fan asked, will season 2 of Peacemaker take place in the new DCU new continuity, or will it at least be addressed? And he said yes and yes. So I have no idea what that means. I mean, obviously, Peacemaker was always going to be part of the DCU. That was James Gunn's baby. He wanted that to be its own thing. So clearly that's going to keep going. But for the show itself to address the new continuity, that's where I'm a little iffy about. I don't know how they're going to address it, but I am curious to see how they're going to do it and not confuse people. Are you going to just do, I don't know, time travel or something, or is there going to be something that makes people realize that this is a new universe? I don't know. James Gunn clearly, as we talked about it last week, he's clearly okay with things about being confused, even though to me I'm like, why are you shouldn't be okay with nobody being confused when you trying to do a fresh start. The last thing DC needs, the last thing, is any more confusion. So anyway, I am happy about season 2 of Peacemaker coming back. I did like it. And the fact that it is going to address the new DCU and be a part of it is a-okay with me. But anyway, that's all we got for the TV news updates. What are y'all excited about? Are you excited about Ahsoka season 2 potentially? Are you watching Castlevania Nocturne? What do you think about it coming back? And are you looking forward to Peacemaker season 2? Is this maybe something to kind of sort of be excited about with the DCU? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, now we got some oh boy. So I don't know if y'all remember this movie. Some of y'all might be young and maybe y'all didn't see this, but a long time ago, okay, God, when did this even come out? Hold on, I gotta see, because I'm about to date myself. When did Cool Runnings come out? I think, what was that, 93? Yikes. Oh, I was but a young little E-man at the time. But yeah, so Cool Runnings came out in 93. And for anybody that doesn't know, Cool Runnings was about the 1988 Winter Olympics and the Jamaican national bobsled team, right? So it was just, listen, at the time, it was a really, really cool, no pun intended, movie to see. We got a chance to see these brothers represent Jamaica. You didn't really see Jamaica on the big screen in that fashion like that, right? And don't get me wrong, I'm not from Jamaica. Listen, I like Jamaican food. I like all Caribbean food, but I like, that the closest I get to Jamaica is talking to the guy at the jerk taco place. Like, I'll be having some conversations with my man. That's the closest I get to Jamaica. But From what I remember anyway, the movie was funny. It was funny, it was cool, it was great, it was, for what it was. Now, would I ever rewatch it again? Probably not. But at the time, it was doing its thing. Okay. Now, here's the problem. Every once in a blue moon, we always hear about the behind the scenes mess that happens, right? I could have gone a long time never knowing about this, but I'm also not surprised about this either. This news about what happened with Cool Running. So this is an interview with the director. The director for Cool Runnings was here, and he was talking about basically what happened with the movie. He said and this basically said here that the film got its start outside of Disney at first, but it had a script that was full of drugs, racism, and the characters were getting laid a lot. Now, if you've seen the movie, that's not what it is now, but ah, that's what it started off with. Now we're going back to Disney here. It says here that Walt Disney Studio executives allegedly tussled with Turtletop, the director, over the cast accent work. The director said they wanted me to sound like a black Aladdin. Oh, I'm sorry, that was just Leon. He said they wanted me to sound just like a black Aladdin. They wanted a Disney version. It was tough because if anybody wants to be authentic, it's me. But I'm a professional and I had to do the job. Malik Yoba, shout out New York Undercover fans. He also added, they'd say people in middle America won't be able to understand you. At that time, people had less access to cultural differences and didn't know how Jamaicans really sounded. Wow. So the director said he eventually got a phone call from Disney, from the chairman, and he said, if you can't get these accents to where I can understand them clearly, I'll find a director who can. Yikes. And the director, went back to the cast and basically was like, yo, we're not going to do Sebastian the Crab, but we're going to make an Americanized version of the movie that people around the world can understand. Now, again, keep in mind, this was 1993. Okay. People weren't as woke back then. This was probably one of the most diverse things that they could have done at the time. But you know, having the fear of people not being able to understand the actors and stuff. I mean, come on now. Now, in fairness, and this is not a shot to nobody, okay? I told you I talked to the jerk taco man. Okay. I talked to my man. That's my guy. But sometimes I need my guy to slow down and speak a little slower. Because I'd be like, what was that? Come again? Sometimes. Because if you're not used to the language, if you're not used to the culture, you know, it's not gonna be always the easiest. Now, obviously, with time, with more exposure, it's fine, right? So I can kind of understand where the executive was coming from. However, the way that the cast is talking about it, it's sounding as though that they really they might as well just have European accents. And of course, if for the recast the child of folks, don't this sound familiar? And if this don't sound exactly, it literally is what Chadwick Boseman was fighting for. Never forget, Chadwick Boseman, God rest his soul, this brother had to fight to have the black African characters have African accents in Black Panther, not European accents for the black people in a black nation, but African accents. Somebody in Disney, somebody in the executive level had issues, or let's say concern about black people from Africa having African accents. Let me just explain why, just real quick, why this is an issue. Because some people might be sitting here saying, well, E-Man, I don't understand. What's the big deal? If you can't understand the accent, then it shouldn't be on TV. It's not accessible for everyone. I agree. I agree. But here's what never happens. Never happens. I don't ever hear y'all complaining. I don't ever see no think pieces or thought pieces about European accents at all. I don't understand y'all Russians. Shoot, half of the people from from Great Britain, I don't be understanding y'all sometimes either. Black Lives Matter. Like, I don't, what? Huh? Come on, bruv. I don't, what? What? Let me turn on the captions. I'm sorry. Pip cheerio. Like, sometimes I don't know what y'all saying either. But y'all don't. But how many executives sit here and be like, you know what, Bridgerton? You know what, Tom Holland? You know what? Can we tone down the European a little bit? Y'all do that? Do y'all do that? Or is it only when it's the black cultural accents when that becomes a problem? I'm just wondering. So if you think that you have a problem when it's Jamaican or African accents, but you don't have a problem when you get that thick Irish, thick Scottish, thick, European from the Caucasus accents, you might want to ask yourself why that is. So, no, this is not okay. No, this is not, this is a problem if you only got problems, if you can't understand only one type of accent. Okay, but anyway, it's a shame that was an issue back then, and it's still an issue right now, but I'm glad that the movie came out and it was a success. I enjoyed it, but it does kind of suck when you have to hear these kind of things after the fact. It does kind of suck to hear that, but hey, whatever. It is what it is. Anyway, you guys let me know. What did you think about this new revelation, this news about the executives having issues with the Jamaican accents and the cast feeling like they have to speak like a black Aladdin? I don't even know why, because Aladdin's Middle Eastern and Jamaica's in the Caribbean. Like, what? That's not even geography. Anyway, whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's see. Larry, what you got? Kiss the lucky egg. Yes, man, that's a deep one, bro. You must have just seen it, because, bro, I did not think about that at all until you said it. Thank you so much, Larry. Appreciate you. Nelson, Beast Tamers and Black Summoner on Crunchyroll. Okay, all right. Black Summoner. What? Have I heard of that? I think I've heard of that. I might have to go check that out, but thank you for the recommendations. Thank you. Let's see. Lamar, what you got? And somehow we got an Oscar-nominated movie with people speaking the most inaudible Irish accent that nobody understands. When I tell you, I couldn't stand that movie. I had to watch that movie with captions. I had to. Did anybody tell them what the frack? What the fact? What? I didn't know what the hell Colin was talking about half of the time. What was that movie called? Dang it. Somebody, what was that movie called? I hit me in the comments with it. I forgot. Because I did not like that. Colin Farrell, what was his movie? The Banshees of Inisherin. Get out of here with that nonsense. I couldn't understand y'all. Them thick Irish accent. What? Anyway, thank you, Lamar, for bringing that up. Just reminding me. Banshees. Ugh. Anyway. All right. Let's see. What else do we have? Let me just do this. I'm not even gonna get us a full review. I'm not even gonna do it. I didn't want to, but I'm gonna give y'all just some quick thoughts on The Exorcist. No, I know we got some scaredy cats. I ain't gonna put no pictures up, so it's just gonna be me. Don't be scared. Just a quick, funny, interesting story. I don't know if it's even interesting, but so I was at the New York Film Festival, right? Over the weekend. And one of the things that I really wanted to do was I had to come back in to Chicago before like 6 o'clock so that I could go see The Exorcist, right? And because that's when the screening was happening. And my flight, even though I rescheduled everything, I left at like 3 o'clock and I was gonna get here like 5 o'clock. My flight got delayed. And I was like, dang, man, but it's all good because I gave myself that cushion to make it back in time, right? So my flight got delayed and it still got delayed and delayed and delayed. And I finally landed, finally got back to the airport, made it back to my car. And I was like, all right, boom, I gotta hightail it. It's like an hour drive from the airport to the theater that I needed to go to. So I'm driving. I see my GPS like, I don't know, buddy. You gonna make it there at 7:02. Now, here's the thing. I don't like missing anything in the if I'm more than 3-4 minutes late for a movie, I don't go watch it because there could be one or two little things that happen in the beginning that could throw everything off, right? Who knows? And when it comes to screenings, there are no trailers, so I don't have a buffer. So if it says 7, it's at 7. So I was like, all right, maybe if I speed, I'll get there, whatever. As I'm driving there, all of a sudden, train stops me on the tracks. I'm like, damn. Train stops me on the tracks. I'm like, damn. GPS is like, yeah, 7:02, more like 7:07, buddy. I was like, dang. All right, well, maybe if I speed a little bit. Another train stops me. I was like, oh Lord. Now it's 7:14 for the ETA. I'm like, you know what? I call up the PR company. Yo, I'm not gonna make it. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry. So I'm feeling bad that I couldn't go see this because I wanted to review it for folks. And it's The Exorcist, right? It's popular, horror movie, da 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 da. I get home, I'm feeling bad. I go to sleep and I look at my emails and I see all these other critics, and these other critics were like, oh my gosh, at our screening, this has never happened before, but the projector or whatever just didn't work. The sound just didn't work. I was like, oh, word, and I was like, dang, the devil must be working hard. Oh my God. The devil is working hard. Look at that. The devil just didn't want that movie to be synced. So then I see the email from the PR company, and they was like, hey, we're going to get you another shot to watch the movie. I said, okay, now let's go. But it was at like 2 o'clock. I was like, yo, man, I got a 9 to 5. I can't be going in the middle of the afternoon, like what? I can't go on my lunch break to go watch this. So I was like, dang, man, you see how the devil's out here working hard? Like, why won't you let me see this movie? So Thursday, I decided to go see it. Paid the money. Paid the money. And after watching the movie, and I'll tell you my thoughts about it. After watching the movie, it dawned on me that oftentimes you can go through life and certain things will be blocks for you, challenges. And you might think like, yo, why is the devil playing me? But in real life, it was really God the whole time. Okay. Now listen, you ain't got to be religious for this, but I'm just telling you my experience. Okay. My perspective. Because God was trying to save me from this movie. And that is my belief. Okay. Because when I tell you I watched this movie and I was like, why did I pay my money? Can I get my money back? Who can manager? Man, boy, listen. I went from Karen to Kareem. I was like, yo, where my money at? Because this ain't it. So, quick thoughts on The Exorcist. Trash. Oh my God. How do you mess up? This was okay. Let me give y'all a little good. The makeup was good. Okay. The makeup for them little girls, makeup was good. They looked jacked up. The sound was good. There was some sound that was good. So, um, I think we just skipped to the bad. I don't know why they had Leslie Odom in this role. He's not bad. My man did read his script, said his lines, did his stuff. I'm like, this is a brother that literally can sing and dance his tail off. Like he oozes charisma and talent from his bones. Why did y'all hire him for this role? Like, y'all didn't need this brother here. You didn't need to waste his time with this movie. So he was completely wasted. The story, when I tell you there was nothing scary in this movie, like the whole time I'm literally watching this, like, when are we getting scared? And I know I watch a lot of horror movies and I'm probably more desensitized than the average person. I'm just saying, like, I could have brought my kids to see this. Well, my oldest. She's scaredy too. Anyway, it was medium scary. Medium scary. Like, I'm not bringing you. No, you're not coming to nothing with me in horror. My wife is not allowed in any horrors, period. No. Because you would have fell asleep. You would have fell asleep. So the scare factors were weak. And when I say scare factors, when I tell y'all with horror movies, the bare minimum is usually a jump scare. Even the jump scares weren't even there. I was like, y'all don't even put the cheap stuff in. It was, sadly to say, it was boring. Like, for as someone who's watched almost every exorcism movie that comes out, because I love that subgenre, this had to have been the most boring exorcism movie, demon possession movie I've ever seen. I was just like, there's nothing here. So I left completely dissatisfied. I sent a prayer up to God just saying I'm sorry for not listening, because I should have listened. I should have listened. But I'm hoping to take my trauma to maybe turn it into maybe somebody else's blessing. Wait. I'm saying, if you want to watch it, wait. So yeah, if I had to give it a rating at all, I'd probably say The Exorcist was 5 out of 10. Like, they tried. That's it. They tried. So anyway, if y'all have seen The Exorcist, listen, maybe you felt different than I did. Whatever you thought, let me know in the comments down below. If you plan on watching it, good luck. But whatever y'all think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's see. Lamar, what you got? And somehow we got an Oscar nominated. Oh yeah, we got that. Sorry, thank you. Ill Magic, what you got? Or is that Illinois Magic? Ill Magic or Illinois? Because ILL, I'm from Illinois, so ILLINI. Anyway, that's alumni stuff. The spiritual universe making you miss the first viewing was a sign, bro. I had 3 signs. I had 3 signs. If it wasn't the first train, if it wasn't the second train, if it wasn't the screening that clearly was not for me, bro, all the signs was up there, all the signs, and I missed them all. Oh, thank you so much, Rabia. Thank you so much as well for the contribution. I really appreciate y'all. Nelson, was the jump scare in Loki better than the Exorcist? Yes. Yeah. I mean, granted, I don't, it takes a lot for a jump scare to do something for me, but I mean, okay, I give you one test. There's a test, and I think some of y'all scaredy cats, some of y'all that are more sensitive to the scare factors. How about that? The more sensitive scarers. When there's a point in the movie where like things are about to get scary, so then your hand just kind of make its way up to your face because you just kind of want to, hit, doing. At no time did I ever feel that feeling. At no time did I ever sit here and be like, ooh, what's about to, no, none of that. I was just like, all right. Yep, that's the devil. Yep. Yeah, she's possessed. Yep. That's it. Okay, goodbye. And that was it. That was it. So, again, I know everybody got different, levels and stuff, but for me, it was just like, nah, gee, this ain't it. That was like giving me ketchup and telling me it was hot sauce. Like, no, 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 you're lying. Please stop lying. Zia, what you got? Stop the reboots and outdated sequels in 2024. Listen, it didn't work here. And they tried it. Listen, they tried it. You see in the trailers, they tried to bring some of the original characters back and stuff. And I mean, it was just kind of like, maybe that worked on paper. Maybe on paper, it was like, oh, look, we're going to get the original people from the 1960s, 70s movie, and that'll get them. Did y'all forget that was like 50 years ago? Like, the people that would care are probably too old to go to the movies at this point. Maybe. I don't know. Yeah, I'm with you on there. Let's see. ILL equals Illmatic. Okay, I figured it was Illmatic. Magic is Nas's latest album. I got you. Okay, all right. This is a lot. I figured it was Illmatic, but I was, just in case. My mind goes to Illinois, but I got you. I feel you. Thank you so much. Low key shout out. Thank you. Yes, Scaredy Cat here. The first side would have been enough for me. Yeah, listen, I gotta do better. I gotta do better in paying attention to the signs. I will, and I gotta make sure I don't misinterpret them either. Cause I sure was like, the devil don't want me to see that. No, but it was God. Oh man. Thank y'all so much for that. Appreciate you. All right, we do have a new movie coming out. And it's actually, no, it is not Dwayne the Rock Johnson. It is actually a different Rock, and that is Chris Rock. He's got a new movie coming out, and it is going to be he's going to direct this Martin Luther King biopic, and Steven Spielberg is going to executive produce. Woo wee! That's a lot of ingredients there. Says Rock is in final talks to direct and produce the project with Spielberg on board as executive producer. Hold on. Okay, no, we didn't get there yet. Hold on, because I got one issue. It says here that it's based off of Jonathan Eig's biography called King: A Life. Eig's book has been called the definitive biography of the late civil rights icon. It uses new FBI information and hundreds of interviews to paint a portrayal of King as a courageous but emotionally troubled individual who demanded peaceful protest while grappling with his own fertilities and a government that hunted him. Casting has not been announced. All right. Let me just say first and foremost, because they said that casting has not been announced, I don't care who y'all get. Do not cast Anthony Mackie as MLK. Just don't. Really don't care who else y'all get. Just no. With that said, I will say that I'm a little bit more intrigued about this because it's based off of this documentary. Because one thing that I've always hoped for, especially when it comes to like depictions of MLK, because of course we're gonna get the "I Had a Dream" speech and him marching and stuff. I don't think cinematically we do get enough depiction of the fact that the government was literally hunting this man down, tapping his phones. The government, FBI, literally lost a lawsuit and everything, was responsible for his assassination. Stuff like that don't really make it into the conversations when it comes to MLK. I'd also hope they go into, the fact that yes, he was a man about nonviolence and all that, but you know what? Really, like, they didn't have a problem with him being nonviolent. They had a problem when this man started talking about reparations. When he started talking about the financial and economic inequalities between black folks that still exists today, by the way. When he started talking about that, that's when he started making white folks and white folks in government uncomfortable at the time. And that was definitely something that doesn't always make it into the conversations. People are, oh, well, you got to judge someone by the content of their character. Yeah, people like to nitpick and cherry pick MLK. But if you had the full version, which I hope this movie tries to bring forth, there was a whole lot more to this man. Okay, a whole lot more. So anyway, what do y'all think about this? Are y'all excited for this biopic? I mean, I like the fact that you got Steven Spielberg in the mix. I think that, I mean, listen, I don't think Steven Spielberg is going to allow this movie to be a problem, or to fall through the cracks. Now, Chris Rock has directed a couple movies before. What did he do before? Uh, what did he say? Oh yeah, it says here he did Top 5. Didn't watch it, didn't care. Head of State, it was okay. And I Think I Love My Wife. I actually liked that movie. It was kind of funny for what it was, but overall, I'm not too nervous about him directing. And again, if you got Steven Spielberg on the line and he's a producer, like you literally got one of the best producers in the game right there. You listen, you better not mess this up. I'm just saying, you better not mess this up. You got all the right pieces. So hopefully they get the casting right and hopefully they get everything else together. But anyway, y'all let me know. Are you looking forward to this? Is this something that you might, check out with, if it comes out, when it comes out, whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right, what we got? Zia. Not Mr. I Let My Friend Say the N-Word is directing this. Absolutely not. Everybody hates Chris. Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah. Didier, what you got? Why you always have it out for my co-star? What? Listen, because y'all, I knew y'all was gonna come in here with that spin. I don't have it in for nobody. Okay. And I believe we're gonna touch on that a little later. All I'm saying is I've seen him play MLK before and it didn't work. I'm being objective with this. I'm putting my critic hat on. I'm saying I seen what you did and I don't like it and I don't want no more of it. Okay. So I'm not saying that this ain't no blind hateration. Okay. That's not what this is. I seen this man play the role of MLK and I was like, no, just no. So, now listen, if y'all have not seen Anthony Mackie play MLK before, don't talk to me about this. Okay. Don't bring this up to me unless you've seen that. And for whatever reason, you liked it. And even then, yikes. Thank you, Diddy. I appreciate you. And you know what? Have you been a co-star with him? I don't know. I haven't seen the IMDb, but if you have, congratulations. Or if you haven't, hopefully you get on there, man. Hopefully they cut you that check. Larry, what you got? Richard Dreyfuss as MLK. Look, he's gonna audition for it though. He has to audition for it. If he doesn't audition for MLK, I will be very, very disappointed in Richard Dreyfuss. This is clearly his dream role that he's been waiting for all his life. Clearly. Good one, Larry. Nelson, Mackie is MLK. No, please don't. Please don't. Mara Sharice, what you got? But the facts in the book are from the FBI. Oh, are they? Now that'll be interesting. Listen. I don't tell nobody to take anything a movie says at face value. Always go do your own research. Movies are not history books, okay? Movies are not always peer-reviewed, made by scholars, etc. I don't even care if it's a documentary. Even documentaries can be biased and leave out information because the job of a documentary most times is not to educate you, but it's usually to persuade you. It's very rare that they'll be there just for educational purposes. So anyway, go do your own research, for real. Like whatever it is, go look it up. So I encourage y'all to do that. Let's see, 60 plus. Jeffrey Wright as MLK. Ah, he can play the role. Jeffrey Wright could do anything. Jeffrey Wright, in my opinion, is like the black version of Gary Oldman. Like he's a fantastic actor. I don't think he gets the breaks that he deserves. But I would probably go with someone else. I wouldn't mind seeing somebody else take it. But thank you so much for that. Reagan, what's going on? Star Wars rankings. Ahsoka season 1, Mando season 2, Andor season 1, the rest. Okay. Mando just doesn't have as much lore and character depth as Ahsoka. That's fair. Also, acting wise, Mando was carried by Giancarlo and Carl Weathers. So I will push back slightly by saying that while it is true that Mando does not have as much lore that Ahsoka had, I'd say the character depth was still there, because you literally had a guy that was born to be just a soldier or whatever, and all of a sudden now he cares about this youngling that he found. So I think there is some character development there. The difference, I would say, is as much fan service that Ahsoka did in terms of bringing up the lore and continuing Rebels and Clone Wars, which is great, right? It's great that it did that. Mando also came out of nowhere with no help, and it literally carried Disney Plus during a pandemic by itself. Mando was so great but the second the season was done, people canceled and left Disney Plus. I don't see people leaving Disney Plus in droves because Ahsoka is done. So all I'm saying is Mando did some work as a rookie. Mando came out the gate. Didn't nobody know what he was? Didn't nobody even see his face? We didn't know what he looked like. Okay. And this man literally brought in new people into Star Wars. So that would be my argument. That's why I have Mando just a little bit higher, because I think that's it's a harder task to bring in new people with less help when people don't have, 2 seasons or 2 series to help build you up. But anyway, that's a good list. I like the list though. Thank you so much for the contribution. Lamar, what you got? Top 5 was kind of legit. Was it? Okay. I didn't see it. It just didn't appeal to me, but I'll take your word for it. Il Magic, Brian Tyree Henry as MLK. I think he could do it. As an actor, he is pretty talented. So I'd be interested. I'd like to see him do it, because I've yeah, I think he could do it. Yeah, that's a good one. Let's see. Kingsley Benedict. No, he's a little too light, in my opinion. I mean, he played a great MLK. He did a great MLK. I don't think, no, not for that. Let's go a little darker, Ism, what you got? What's up, E-Man? They rewriting Blade again. Foggy ain't like the script. November 2023, September 2024. Now, February 2025. That ain't good. Is that confirmed? Or is that just a rumor? I haven't heard about this. So where are you getting that info from? Is that, be careful where y'all get this info now. I don't know. But I'll say this. If that's true, because I don't know, I haven't seen anywhere confirm this. I haven't seen any legit sources talk about this anyway. If it is true that they're rewriting Blade, fine. I'd rather you give me something good and well made rather than rushed and underdeveloped. So if that is true, yes, that's a good sign to me. Now, it sucks because I don't think Mahershala Ali is going to be wanting to do this while he's 60 years old at that point. But, I'd rather wait for a really good Blade than a crappy rush Blade, But thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Jarrett, what you got? The actor who played Clay Davis from The Wire would be a good choice. Sure. I haven't seen him play enough roles that would convince me, but I wouldn't be surprised if he could do it. So I would just need to see more. I would need to see more. But good pick, good pick. Um, See, every once in a while we get a troll. Every once in a while we get a troll. Y'all make sure this is the only troll I'm gonna tell y'all to go follow though. Go follow just my opinion reviews. It's in my favorite channel list. You know the deal. But every once in a while we gotta have at least one troll. All right, let's go with oh man, I should have put this in the TV updates. Yeah. Okay. Um well, I guess I got another update and I forgot to put this in there. Anyway, Roy Woods Jr., in case y'all didn't know, he has been a correspondent on The Daily Show as one of their reporters and all that. And apparently now he is out of there, you know, and this is coming in light of the fact that for the past couple of years, um, after Trevor Noah left the show as the host, they've been looking for a replacement. Now, I think a lot of people have been like, yo, Roy. Like Roy is that one. He's that guy. Now, he had a couple moments where, a couple episodes where he was able to host, even though they were bringing in a bunch of other people to guest host and stuff like that. But for whatever reason, they just would not pick him. And at this point, he was like, all right, I'm done. I'm out of here. So it does say here, um, he said here in a NPR interview, I can't come up with plan B while I can't come up with plan B is while still working with plan A. The job of correspondent is not really one where you can juggle multiple things. And I think 8 years is a good run. And he's absolutely right. He did a great job on the show. He was probably one of the funniest people. Like once Trevor left, actually, while Trevor was there, he was also funny. Roy was definitely funny. And the fact that you put in 8 years at a job, they put up the application and say, "Yo, there's an opening for the promotion." They let you interview, they let you audition, and then they still keep searching for another year or two. That's just disrespect, in my opinion. He might not say that, but to me, I think that's just peak disrespect. Because it's kind of like, what was the point of all the work that you did there, before? So I am very ecstatic for him that he knows his worth, that he is getting up out of there rather than being kicked off. Because honestly, it was almost a little embarrassing that the fans were saying we want Roy to be the host. Roy was already outspoken saying he'd love to be the host. Matter of fact, I talked to the brother. Like I talked to him. What was it? I think it was like the AFCA event or something like that. It was at a award ceremony, and he was like, "Yeah, if they'll have me." And I was like, "Bro, you deserve to be on there." So it's no secret that this brother definitely deserves and wants the job, but if your job is just gonna keep on looking as if you're not there, as if you haven't been putting in the work for 8 years, man, it's time to go. So I hope that that he gets similar success finding something new, the way Steve Carell did, the way that John Oliver did, or Stephen Colbert. Like, I hope all them people that used to be on the Daily Show and left there and went ahead and got even bigger and better opportunities. I hope that's lined up for Roy because he deserves it. But you know, and if anything, that's the Daily Show's loss. That's their loss. Anyway, y'all let me know, what do you think um about Roy Wood Jr.'s decision to leave the Daily Show? Did you ever check him out on the show? Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Ba, 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 ba. Marcus, what you got? Replay gang, gang, gang. Oh, yeah. All love to Ian the Avengers. Wanted to make sure love was felt all around. Self-care check in. Please tell me you are reviewing the Continental. I'll take one video for all three. Please keep pushing Zoe. Thank you so much, brother. Actually, I did. I think I just need to post it. So yes, I did review the Continental. I will post that probably later this weekend. So I got you. Yes, I got you. I got you covered. I'll post it. You'll see it very, very soon. Because I think I did it in like another replay or something like that. So you will be getting that very, very soon. Thank you, man. I appreciate you, and I hope everything is all well with you on your end. Let's see, Larry, what you got? Isaiah Whitlock Jr., Clay Davis. There you go. Is the she. He has a YouTube channel with very weird comedy on it. He also did the she thing and 25th hour before the wire, so it's his thing. Yes, it is his thing. And I did see him doing that before the wire as well. And I just love the fact that he's owned it. Lean into it. That's fantastic. You know, love it, love it, love it. Thank you so much, Larry. I appreciate you. Just my opinions coming through. 280 are watching, but only 74 likes. Why come y'all? Come on, y'all. Yeah, please listen. If you like what you see, if you're enjoying the content so far, and trust me, we got some good stuff coming up. Then go ahead and give this a like. Definitely appreciate it. And again, if you have not subscribed by now, what are you waiting for? Come on, join the party. It's all good. You see all the fun? Look at all the fun in the chat. Come on now. All right, let's move on though. So, recap. Y'all remember Drew Barrymore got into some mess during the strike. Now, let me kind of refresh some people's memories. Drew Barrymore is an actor. She is part of the guild, right? The Screen Actors Guild, or SAG-AFTRA, excuse me. She has shown solidarity with the writers, and that's one of the reasons why her show was on strike. She took her show down to stand in solidarity with them. And once the writers got, their deal and all like that, Drew was kind of like, well, actually, I think this was before they got their deal. But either way, Drew decided to bring her show back. She decided to bring it back, and this was in the midst of the SAG-AFTRA strike. So a lot of folks was like, Drew, what are you doing now? In Drew's defense, she was like, yo, I have a lot of people that work under me. You know, I've got a lot of the staff who are not writers, right? They're not actors, but you know, the makeup people, the costume people, you know, all these other folks, they out of work, right? So we're gonna bring it back. I know it's not great. We're not violating any rules, but it's still not a good look, right? So she got a lot of backlash for this, a whole lot of backlash. People was not messing with her. And when I tell you they was hitting her hard, and I've told y'all before, she had options. She said and acted like she couldn't do nothing else to help her staff and crew, but by coming back and bringing the show in the midst of a strike. She thought that was her only thing, even though her colleagues, people with talk shows, went and did a podcast to raise money for their staff and crew. Her colleagues, other actors, went and started a fund to pay, you know, for their colleague, the other coworkers and stuff. So there were options that Drew just missed, didn't know, neglected, whatever. So Drew decided to do that Hollywood moonwalk and backpedal, and she was like, all right, you know what? I was wrong, right? Even though I said I'm sorry, but not sorry, now I'm really sorry, and I'm gonna keep the show off. We're gonna take it off, right? All right, cool. So people were still kind of like, I don't know, Drew. I don't know. Now the problem is actions have consequences. Sometimes what you say and what you do is gonna bite you in the butt. That just happens. And apparently, People still taking chunks out of Drew's butt. They still biting. Chomp chomp. So, according to this new report, it says here that the show's three co-head writers have all apparently turned down the opportunity to come back and write for Barrymore again. All three writers were vocal and visible about their unhappiness with Barrymore's September decision to begin filming her show again without the input of the writers. Yikes. This is kind of what happens when you try to have your cake and eat it too. The people that you said that you were standing in solidarity with, you went and pretty much crossed that picket line, tried to play safe, tried to go around the rules, and then you backtrack that, and now they don't want to mess with you no more. Now don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure she can go find some other writers, but it's not a good look. How many writers, let's say this, how many experienced writers are going to want to go take that job? How many experience? Now, she might be able to get some new writers. Sure. You young, hungry, you need a job. Sure. But it might be a little difficult to get the good quality experienced ones to be like, man, I ain't messing with her flip-flopping self. Actions have consequences. So, what do y'all think about Drew Barrymore now losing out on the people she thought that she was fighting for, but then she disrespected, but then she tried to apologize, but the apology wasn't a real apology. But then she got real apologetic because people gave her all this backlash and stuff, and she couldn't take the pressure. So then she decided to backtrack, and now they don't care about none of that, and she ain't got no writers. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. All right. JM, what you got? No, this is late, but my Haitian spidey senses are tingling. Spielberg is executive producing an MLK biopic, but didn't reach out to Spike or Coogler. Well, to be fair, they might not be available. Spike is always working on something, and Coogler already is very busy. Coogler is an executive producer himself. He's also a director. He's got like 4 or 5 Marvel projects or something like that, something crazy that he's doing. So to be fair, we don't know. We don't know. Maybe he did reach out to them. Maybe they were just like, we can't, or maybe this was a Chris Rock thing. Maybe Chris was like, yo, I want to do this. And he approached Spielberg, so, to me, I just don't really want to comment on too much because I don't know what happened behind the scenes or not. But yeah, I personally just wouldn't assume. I wouldn't assume. Because we have no idea. People there's a reason why a lot of things don't get, working in Hollywood. I remember hearing stories about people who are like really good friends, and they're like, man, we've been trying to do this movie together for like 15 years, but their schedules just never align. That's just the business, it'd be like that. So anyway, thank you so much, Jan. I appreciate you. All right, we got some Fantastic Four news again. I've already told y'all that Fantastic Four is probably one of those properties that Marvel wants. They want this to be good so bad. Like I'm just getting all the feeling that Marvel really wants Fantastic Four to just work. They want this to be the crowning achievement for whatever reason. I don't know. I could be projecting. I don't know. But the internet is definitely always jumping at whatever opportunity they can about who's getting cast in Fantastic Four, who's directing, etc. Now we see Matt Shackman here. He's the one that's going to be directing it. He was the guy that brought you WandaVision, which I still believe is probably still the best Disney Plus series live action on the network right now. But he has the gig right now. And in this interview, he does kind of give us a couple updates about Fantastic Four. And before you even ask, yes, John Krasinski was asked already about coming back as Reed Richards, and he did respond in an interview to The Wrap in 2002. He basically stated that he's unlikely to play the role again. And that's it. He's done. Marvel said, you know what? The fans have been asking for John Krasinski for years. We gave him to you in this superficial, dumb cameo in Doctor Strange 2. There you go. Have fun with it. Roll with it. You're welcome. So now they're probably going to move on to somebody else. I just hope it's not Adam Driver. I'm just saying, I don't see Adam Driver as the role. Yes, I know he can act. Yes, I know he has the talent. I'm just saying, visually, he would make for a better Doctor Doom or something else, not Reed Richards. But, that's another conversation. But to what the director himself said about the film, Shackman noted that with the SAG strike, the actor strike going on, it was impossible to announce anything or put a time scale on it. However, he did add that he was very excited to share the news with fans and that there would be a plan in place to announce the casting as soon as the strike came to a successful conclusion for the actors. And once again, we already know that the studios have reached a deal with the directors. They're good. They finally reached a deal last week with the writers. They're good. And now it's time to deal with the actors, which I believe the actors have more leverage than the writers do. So I'm like, well, if you can make a deal with the writers, you definitely can make a deal with the actors. That should be easier to do, especially now that they have a baseline of what's been agreed upon with directors and writers. So now the actors can be like, okay, well, you did this over there and you did this, so y'all could do this. And again, as we talked about earlier, the studios are probably gonna start raising the prices on us to pay for whatever everybody else agrees to. So anyway, that's another conversation. Um, but I'm hoping that maybe in the next week or so, the actors reach their deal. Everything that I've read so far is that the negotiations have been going in a positive direction. So we are making progress. So good for them. I love it, like it. Good to hear that. He does go on to say some more here. It looks like that they are definitely going to go in front of cameras next year. So 2024, they're going to start filming maybe in the springtime, and they're gonna shoot in London. And I think a lot of that is really just because London gives them a kickback. It's the same thing that happened with Secret Invasion. When you shoot in London, you get certain rebates, so you get some money off. So that's something that I'm sure that they're going to be looking forward to doing. But in terms of the actual movie, he said here it's different in so many ways. I wish I could be specific. I wish I could say more, but we're doing things very differently from a story standpoint, from an approach to the filmmaking standpoint that really fits the material. I wish I could say more. I would love to, but I can't. But I think it's going to be unlike anything you've seen before, and certainly unlike anything at Marvel you've seen before. I don't know how to take that because I'm not going to quote nobody on this because I don't know, but something tells me that somebody would have told me Thor 4 is going to be unlike anything you've ever seen before in Marvel. At this point, when Marvel tries to do something different, it's going to be hit or miss. It's going to be hit or miss. But what I can maybe extrapolate from that quote, maybe what I could take from that quote just a little bit, is that clearly they ain't going off the comics. So once again, you shouldn't be going into there, with that expectation anyway. right? But it sounds like they about to make up their own thing when it comes to the adaptation of the Fantastic Four. So whatever you thought you knew about them, I'd say go ahead and throw it out the window right now. Now, keep in mind, this is the same guy that brought us WandaVision. And to be fair, WandaVision was completely unlike anything we've ever seen in Marvel at the time. So, at the very least, he does have that going in his favor. You know, he has given us something different before, and I think that it's worked. So, maybe, maybe. So I don't know. Do y'all trust him? Now keep in mind, Marvel has also come around. They've realized, listen, one thing Marvel will do, they will self-analyze themselves, right? They know when they drop the ball. They might not talk about it all the time publicly, but they know when something does not work, right? I think, for example, I don't think it's a coincidence that Captain Marvel has a new director, right? So, and we also heard that Marvel's going to slow down with a lot of their, stuff as well. They're going to slow down because we know Phase 4 they was doing too much too fast, and there was zero quality control going on. So, my hope is that they learn from their mistakes. I hope so. My hope is that they try to look at what used to work and use that. Because here's the thing, you don't have to keep on trying new things all the time. Sometimes you could just tweak what's already working, and that's new enough. I've always told people this from an IT mind, right? I've always told people that people like updates, right? You like your computer. Hey, you have a software update. You go ahead and click it. You be like, yeah, go ahead and make my stuff right. But people don't always like upgrades, right? Like, wait, I got to go from Windows 7 that's been working just fine to Windows 8? Why? I don't want to. I'm not ready. I got to go from Windows 10 to Windows 11? I'm not ready. But you like the updates, so we'll have to wait and see. We'll have to wait and see. But anyway, what do y'all think about this Fantastic Four update from the director? Does it make you feel a little bit better? Are you optimistic? Are you still kind of pessimistic? Maybe you a little skeptical on whether this is actually going to be good or not. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Now what y'all been waiting for. This is why y'all came. Yeah, I don't know why. But apparently this is why y'all came. Yeah, y'all didn't want nothing else. We got to talk about Pic-gate. Yes, Pic-gate has been flooding the internets recently. And it has basically been part of the news. Yes, people have been tagging me. People are like, "E-Man, have you heard about it?" Yes, I've heard about Mackie. I've heard about Pic-gate, and we about to talk about it. So, I tried to do a little bit more research into what happened. Let me give you the brief thing. The brief thing is basically a grandmother came up to Anthony Mackie because her grandson wanted to take a picture with him. And, he was at like an event, chilling, right? And basically, he was just like, ma'am, I cannot take a picture with, with your grandson, and I will not, right? So he just politely put her down, right, and declined. And the grandma apparently went on social media, or maybe it was the mom, one of them, and was just like, "Dang, Anthony Mackie, why can't you Captain America? Why can't you just take a picture with the boy?" And everybody's been going on, some side of the aisle says like, "Yo, you a celebrity, man. That come with the territory. Take the picture with the boy. That's gonna mean something to the kid." Other folks are like, "Hey, respect his boundaries." You know what I'm saying? He a person too. Both sides, I think, have a point. But I was able to track down the mother of the young man who, the little boy. So I got a little bit more of the story for y'all, because from what I noticed, people were only reacting to some of the video, not all of it. There were some things that were left out, some context. So we are going to talk about I'm gonna give y'all the bigger picture of what happened, so we can actually, really come to a better assessment of what went down. So I got some videos here. We gonna go through it, talk about it, and get into this. Let's go ahead. Hold on, I want to make sure y'all got the right audio. Okay, there we go. All right, I got the right audio. Okay. Where is it? Do I have the Hold on, let me get the video up for y'all. I think oh wait, okay, here we go.
Hey yo, check it out. I'm Tupac. I'm chilling here with my homeboy, the notorious B.I.G. on the scene. We about to take y'all by storm. Give them some.
Oh, no. Oh, that wasn't it. I'm sorry. Sorry guys, that was the wrong video. Where's the right one? Okay. Here we go. Okay, here it is. I'm sorry. Wrong video. Wrong videos. My bad. Here we go. Here's the video.
Thank you so much. All right. So you cannot be real now.
Absolutely.
And I will tell you guys. Thank you very much.
All right. So you see, Mackie, right? He's in his, he's got his little cigar, he's drinking, he's doing his thing or whatever, he's chilling. And this was a video of the grandmother basically, saying like, so you're not going to take the picture. And he was like, no, ma'am, not going to do it, etc. So he's not being, belligerent. He ain't cussing nobody out. He's, so to me, I was kind of like, dang, people were tripping over that. But we do get a little bit more context here. Now, this video is I believe the mother of the boy. So who you just saw was the grandmother. That was the grandmother. Now, this is going to be the reaction from the boy's mother. She was the one that was kind of posting it or whatever. So you can hear it because I don't have the video, but I have the audio that you can listen to.
I know he's generally ass. He doesn't want to take pictures. He doesn't want to talk to people. Fine, cool. But I didn't care about that. I love Marvel stuff. I love that he's from New Orleans. I love that he's a black man. He made history when Captain America passed that shield to him. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all might not even know what I'm talking about, but my Marvel people do. Anyway, he came and thanked me. I told him no problem. I said, you feel like taking a picture real quick with my son? He said no pictures. I said no problem. And I walked off and let it be.
Okay, so the mom here basically was kind of giving some more context to what was going on. And I listened to the mom actually had a longer interview. I think it was like on Instagram or something like that. And she was talking about how, like, at this event that they were at, I don't know if it was a sporting event, whatever, but apparently, people know Anthony Mackie in New Orleans, right? Like, this is where he's from. They see him around town, he's well known. So apparently at this event that they were at, the VIP people or whoever didn't recognize him. So the mom had actually gone up to the VIP and was like, yo, that's Anthony Mackie, that's Captain America, you got to let him in, so she helped him get in. She went, she talked to Anthony Mackie. She basically was like, yo, we can get you in the VIP. I got you. So he got in, right? So what we saw earlier was him chilling, I guess, in the VIP area or whatever. Okay, cool. Now, just like the mom just said, she asked, "Is it cool for my son to take a picture?" Now, the mom also said that she knew about his reputation, right? He has a reputation in New Orleans where basically he does not take pictures. I guess I don't know if it's only kids, whatever, but either way, he is established a reputation of just not taking pictures with folks. Okay, that's his rule, whatever. So the mom knew this, but she said, "Look, I'm not going in there with no expectations. I'm not going to go in there because I know his reputation. But I'm going to try for my kid." She tried it. He said no. That was it. All right, cool. So, there's a little bit more to the story, and I'm gonna play this other part, but then I'm gonna fill in the gaps because there's more to the story later. But I'm gonna play the second part of what the mom had to say after.
They did have a little more dialogue back and forth. I don't know the exact words of that. I don't believe it was anything angry because he wasn't really being mean. So apparently they passed a few words back and forth, and then he said, "You know what? I'm not gonna take a picture, but I can shake his hand. I can ask him what school he goes to and stuff like that."
All right. So, in other words, Anthony Mackie he did not want to take the picture, right? But he did end up saying, like, "Yo, I'll talk to little man. Like, I'll have a conversation with him, like I'll rap with him real quick." Right? Okay, cool. Now, here's the part of the story that was not really made known to everybody. You'd have to watch the full interview. So I'll give y'all the cliff notes, basically. So after the mom had approached Anthony Mackie about the picture with her son, after that, and he declined it, her son, he's like 11 years old. He didn't have a phone, so he went and used his mom's phone. And what he did was he used his phone to record Anthony Mackie, right? And it was just something to kind of show his friends and be like, "Look, who's here? Anthony Mackie, Captain America's here." Da 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 da, right? So, after he declined the picture, the son took a video without Anthony Mackie's consent and recorded, right? Now, once that was done, the boy's grandmother, or great grandmother, walked up to Anthony Mackie because she saw how disappointed the young man was that he wasn't able to get a picture with Mackie, right? And, this is, what we saw earlier. She went up to him and was like, "Look, so you're not going to take the picture?" And prior to that, he told her he already got it, right? And what he was referring to is he already took a video of me, again, without the consent. So that was kind of further for him to be like, "No, thank you." So she just went up to him for clarification because even though the mom completely understood he had a reputation and he doesn't like taking pictures for whatever reason, the grandma was kind of like, "I can't believe this. That's Captain America. Why wouldn't he want to do that?" So that's what prompted that video that we saw earlier. Now, as the mom said, he still went ahead and had a conversation with the kid. He still went ahead and was like, "Look, I'm gonna still talk to him, still gonna be one-on-one, all good." And the mom, after the video, was like, "No one," I think she even posted this on Twitter or whatever, "No one believes that Mackie doesn't like taking pictures with kids." Again, that's his reputation, that he does not take pictures with kids. And, apparently that's something that is well known in New Orleans, right? And this is not a one-time thing with him. So that was one of the reasons why I guess she wanted to post this or whatever. All right. So that was the whole story, right? That's the whole thing behind all of this. Now, as for my thoughts on this, I've had I can relate to this in two different ways. One, in Chicago, Michael Jordan used to. Now he's not around here as much as he used to, but back in the day, he was always around. But here's the thing. Mike is not very nice in terms of people's interactions, right? People have said many times that MJ is not, he's the definition of don't meet your heroes, right? And it's not a hidden secret that he doesn't really like giving autographs like that, or that he's going to stop for pictures. There's video of little kids just trying to get his autograph or just trying to have him sign a shoe or take a picture, and he just drives away. He's like, no, not going to do it. So for me, as a big MJ fan, I already know if I ever come in the same space as MJ, yeah, I'm still going to shoot my shot and see if I can get an autograph or a picture. But if he says no, I'm not going to be heartbroken because I already know that ain't his thing. So the moment I hear that this guy, Anthony Mackie, already has a reputation for that, it's kind of like, yeah, just like the mom, you shouldn't be getting your hopes up, right? And she didn't. At the same time, I remember I went to this screening. I forget which screening it was. Actually, this has happened to me a couple times. But like, I would approach a celebrity, TV actor, somebody, whoever, and I'd be like, "Oh man, it's you. Like, do you mind taking a quick picture?" And they would literally tell me straight up, "Man, I can't right now because if I take one for you, I got to take one for like all 20 people or I'm going to be bombarded. I'm just trying to get out of here. I'm just trying to do that." All right. I didn't get mad about it. Was I disappointed? Sure. But I also understood, like, man, that is true. Like, if I take a picture with you, that's going to cause people to be like, oh, who's this famous person? Maybe I want a picture. Now that person going to get swarmed, bombarded, and I had to remember, like, dang, we both came to this same place just to watch a play. We both came here to watch a movie. This guy brought his wife, his date with him. And now me taking just one picture, which is great for me, is probably going to ruin his night because they're going to get bombarded. And, so I was just like, dang, okay, you know what? I can understand when these celebrities have these boundaries or whatever, there's nothing wrong with respecting them. So, I actually have no problem whatsoever with what Anthony Mackie said and how he felt. If the man don't want to have his pictures taken, he's entitled to that. He doesn't owe that to anyone. Now, I believe you can take a picture with him if you pay him. You're going to have to cut the check. Going to a comic convention or something. He'll be there. He'll take that picture for $50 or more, but if he's in public, now don't get me wrong. I understand that the mom and other people online were like, but he's a celebrity. He, it comes with the territory. Well, here's the thing. Just because he portrays himself as a superhero, just because he plays that role, it's not like he told you to kick rocks and go away. He still talked to the boy. I mean, I'd like a conversation with Michael Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it would suck if I couldn't get a picture or an autograph, but if you want to just talk hoops real quick, I'd cherish that too. If I was a little kid and, I saw, my favorite superhero, like a conversation is still something. Now, if I was the parent, what I would have done is I would have recorded my kid having that conversation with their hero. That's what I would have done. I would have had that. Just hold on. Let's just put that on the side and just hit them just like that. That would be a way to do it. If you don't want to take a real thing, at least I capture that moment for you. So anyway, I think a lot of this was blown out of proportion. I think, Anthony Mackie personally was in the right here. I didn't see anything wrong with him politely saying like, yo, I don't do it. And it sounds like he's consistent. It sounds like he wasn't playing favorites. If that's his general policy, you can't get mad because that means everybody getting turned down. And if everybody getting turned down, sounds fair. So anyway, I had no problem with this. I thought it was fine. But of course, social media going social media. So there you go. What did y'all think about the Anthony Mackie situation? Was he wrong to turn them down? Should he have just taken the picture and just called it a day? I don't know. Whatever it is, y'all let me know. What did you think in the comments down below? All right, let's grab these here. 60, Mackie is from my hometown of New Orleans. Ran into him twice. He's an a-hole. Yikes. And here's the thing. While I was doing my research for all of this, everybody was saying the same thing. It was a lot of people from that area, from New Orleans, that was like, nah, he a jerk. He's not okay. I don't know the guy personally, so I can't say nothing because I don't know. All I can go off of is what other people have been saying for now, but you are not the only person I've heard say that same thing. You're not. So I'm with you. Let's see. Mo, what up, Mo? What up, E-Man? If we run into you in public, you taking pictures? Yeah. Now, if I'm in the bathroom, leave me alone. Let me wash my hands. If I'm eating, let me finish eating. You know what I'm saying? But nah, listen, I was just at the comic convention. What was that? It wasn't C2E2. I think it was C2E2. Some people recognize me. We took some pictures. Yeah, first of all, I'll be asking y'all, like, why you want a picture with me? Like, for what? Like, it's just me, but nah, yeah, I got no problem with that. That's fine, especially if it's like the kids, because like that's an automatic for me. I'm not Anthony Mackie, but I understand and I empathize with little kids when they do get to see whoever their heroes are. I know that's a special feeling for them. So yeah, if there's a kid out there that wants to take a picture with me or what, that's an automatic yes. So yes, to your question, thank you so much. Reagan, what you got? Since the Star Wars shows are done, please watch, review, and/or why are you doing this to me? It really gets going after like episode 3 or 4. Okay. Also, it probably has the best acting of all the shows. I do believe that. I do believe it has the best acting. I do not doubt that. I will get to Andor. I'll get there. I will get there. I promise you I'll get there. Didier, what you got? I'll always take a picture with you, E-Man. I appreciate. Thank you. Because listen, if I bump into you in the streets, I'm asking for a picture. Okay, I'm gonna get one. So I thank you in advance. We gonna make that happen. Let's see, Jarrett, what you got? I have a feeling she said Don Cheadle would never, as she walked away. Don Cheadle would not. I'm gonna keep that to myself. I met Don Cheadle. Nice guy. Let me see. Matter of fact, who asked that earlier? Mo asked that. You can ask the Mod Squad. Kristen, Miss Harper, Rims. When they flew out here, Alib, they flew out here. We took all the pictures together. So yeah, that is definitely I got no problem with that at all. Natalie, what you got? Hell has frozen over if E-Man is defending Mackie. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. But I will say this. Listen, I support truth. So for example, one of the things the mom was saying was like, Anthony Mackie, you're supposed to be like a big hero for New Orleans and do something for the community and stuff. And I'm like, he has. Like, my man has literally opened up his own studio to support the city. Like, he took time out of his day to talk to your son. He didn't have to, but he did. Now, don't get me wrong. Maybe he's not the smoothest in terms of his social interactions, but you know, you get what you get. I don't know. Thank you so much, Natalie. I appreciate you. Hell is just fine. All right. We are, I believe that's it. So that is it for the news updates and all that good stuff. So now we are going to talk about Loki episode 1. So let's morph a little bit here. Boom, boom. There we go. So we're going to talk about Loki episode 1. So this is the point where if you have not watched the episode, we're doing spoilers. So I'm gonna go through the episode. I'll recap some things along the way. I'll share some stuff. And we'll talk theories, we'll give our review and our grades at the end. But listen, that's it. So if anybody is dipping off, I appreciate y'all. See y'all later. Come on back for the replay. I'll cut this up and put this as a separate video as well. But hey, we are here for Loki episode 1. Let me ask y'all a question just real quick. Did y'all find this episode confusing? Because there was a lot going on. There was a lot of stuff with the jumping and the going back in the past and the present and the future. Did anybody just let me know real quick? Just real quick. Did y'all find this confusing to watch? Because I'll admit, when I first watched this episode, I was a little confused. I was like, wait, what? And it took me another watch to kind of be like, oh, okay, I get it. I'm a little slow. I get it. So just in case anybody is still confused, hopefully I will try to explain it and make some sense of it for you guys. Now, I'm not going to do some deep, Easter egg thing. Y'all know what other channels y'all can go to for that. But we're going to try and make sense of it for anybody that didn't catch it. And if if it didn't make sense, if it did make sense, we'll still talk about some other extra things along the way. All right, so where are we going with this? Let's get some of these up here. So one thing that was very interesting is the fact that we kicked it off, right? Remember the last episode, the last season, right? When we saw the big old statue of Kang the Conqueror, right? So this was a statue, and to be clear, this is actually, I believe this is He Who Remains. There's going to be some confusion, but I'm going to use He Who Remains and Kang kind of interchangeably. They're all Kangs, but whatever. So when we saw the statue, I don't think, at the time, I thought that they had put Loki in a different timeline or in a different history, but that's not actually the case. It's not actually the case. What ended up happening was he just went into the past, and that's why they didn't recognize him. So when you go back and watch season 1 all over again, when he goes through that time door, he went into the past. Okay, so that's just keep that in mind. Anyway, so we open up with Kang's statue now in the middle of the TVA, and Agent Mobius is now running after Loki. They're doing this whole chase scene or whatever. And Mobius keeps on saying that he does not know Loki. He doesn't recognize him. Loki jumps overboard, lands onto some flying car. This kind of felt like Star Wars for a minute, the prequels. And the flying car comes in, crashes right back into the TVA. And if y'all notice, the symbol of the TVA has actually changed on the floor. Now, I don't know if this looked like a face a little bit. Maybe is that Kang's face, maybe. But what kind of stood out to me, and maybe y'all can chime in and let me know what you think. But it looks like, with those two triangles, it looks like the symbol for eternity. Usually it's more curved or whatever. But it looks like the symbol for eternity, but the sword that's going through it, I wonder if that means something. I wonder if that stands for something, So I don't know if y'all have like any interesting thoughts or theories about this. about what that sword means or what the symbol means with the TVA, but especially since they are in charge of, keeping up with time and everything, it does make sense that, that they would be having some symbolism that deals with it. But I don't know. Let me know what y'all think about the symbol. Anyway, we go back to Casey. Y'all remember Casey? He was the guy that had all them infinity gems and stuff in his stuff. But he doesn't recognize Loki. Loki's sitting here like, yo, what's up with this? And like before he knows it, Casey just snitched. Immediately got to snitching, and Loki starts to slip back into the present. And once he gets back into the present, boom, now we see him right here. So this is like definitely the sign that something is off, And now we notice, let's see here. We also notice now Casey recognizes him. Once Loki comes back into the present, keep in mind, this was the past, and you can tell it's the past because of Kang's statue. With Kang's statue, his presence, all of that stuff is a marker to let you know that this was in the past. They covered that up here because when Loki does his time slip, he stays in the same place. It's just time moves. So now that he's there and you see the windows are all boarded up, Casey recognizes him because now he's back in the present. So let me be clear. The present time for the TVA is all of season 1. Everything we saw in season 1, everything that happened, except for when Loki went through the time door at the very end. So everybody whenever they don't recognize him, that's the past. When they do recognize him and remember him, that's the present. So I'm gonna try to remind y'all about this because again, for me, it was kind of confusing. And it might be confusing for other people. So right now that Casey recognizes him, he's back in the present and he's like, yo, where are they? What's going on? And they give you this little clue because they show you this old crack that happened from the past, right? That's how they're giving you that clue. So let's see. So we go back to the present. And we do see B-15 and Mobius. They're noticing all the branches in the timeline. As you recall, the branches are not a good thing. This means that there are a whole bunch of alternate timelines, things that are happening outside of the main timeline. And that is pretty much it was the job of the TVA. But because we're in the present, keep in mind what they know. Now they know B-15, just a callback from season 1. She got enchanted by Sylvie, so she remembers things, right? She remembers that she used to be a variant, or that she is a variant, right? She knows that she had a different life and that basically the TVA kidnapped her as a variant and made her work there. So she realizes, and of course Mobius now knows this truth as well. They both know that the TVA is literally killing trillions of people every time they kill off a branch timeline. It might look like just a little branch here, but every timeline is literally trillions, billions of people that just literally get erased and just die just like that. So B-15, they notice that these branches are happening, and now they're more conscious about this. Now Mobius is kind of wrestling with how to break the news to everybody about finding out the fact that the timekeepers were fake. Keep in mind, they built the TVA under the impression that the timekeepers were real, but they weren't. They were just some Chuck E. Cheese automated dolls, some Five Nights at Freddy's type of dolls. Again, another lie from He Who Remains. Now, Casey does go ahead and tell Mobius that Loki is coming back. And, Mobius tries to use Miss Minutes to locate him, but she is currently unavailable. Again, don't forget, Miss Minutes is in cahoots with He Who Remains, and we don't know where Miss Minutes is. And if I, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they even called her a rogue AI. So now we actually know what she is. Like, she's artificial intelligence, right? She's almost like a little mini Ultron, I guess, in some way, shape, or form. So that's pretty, we finally know what she is a rogue AI. And so now we move forward. We see X5, who's another hunter, asking about jet skis on the timeline. And I'm guessing that this dude is just gonna be a future jerk that we just not gonna like or whatever. So we'll just have to keep him in mind for now. Let's see. Loki is coming back. Again, he's doing the time slipping thing over and over again. We see Mobius and B15. Now they have to go to the war room because they have to discuss what's going on with the timekeepers and what's going on with the branch timelines. Like, all of this stuff is a problem that needs to be dealt with. If y'all recall, this was the dude that actually pruned Mobius last time, like when Renslayer, gave the order. So that, just in case you were wondering what they were talking about. And if you notice here, Loki slipped in time again in the same place, going to the war room. Now, notice the difference here. You see in the background, you see the whole paintings and covering up all those things with the Kang stuff or whatever. That is the present, and this is the past. Okay. So Loki does go right back to the same one. Again, notice the backgrounds. Anytime you see Kang stuff around, that's the past. Now this seems like Loki goes into the room and he finds out, he sees all these different pictures of Kang and everything. And I don't know if this is just a sign that maybe the TVA used to be the original place where all the Kangs hanged out. Maybe this is where the council of Kangs were, hence the multiple heads. Maybe this is where things went down before the multiversal war happened. Don't forget, He Who Remains, he did say that when they first started learning about the multiverse, all his different variants, they used to work together. They used to complement each other. Hey, nice hair, nice shoes. Like your nose, stuff like that. So it is possible that the history of the TVA started as the original Council of Kangs, which we saw later on in Ant-Man Quantumania, that it's pretty much evolved into something way more than that. But I like what they did here with the camera work. The same way that Loki is staring at this in the past, flash right to the present. And what do you see? You see the timekeepers and everyone else just kind of hanging out there. And again, I think that this just kind of represents that the TVA was like this really big cover up for whatever Kang or He Who Remains was doing at that time. Hold on, let me just make sure. Okay. Then we get recording. So the judge is listening to a recording, and this recording is something that Loki is saying, and this is back when he came back and learned about He Who Remains. And Loki is claiming that everyone in the TVA are all variants, and that they all had their minds wiped, and that basically Sylvie has the ability to bring their memories back, and Loki, and then of course you see the timekeeper's head here. This is again a big deal. They don't know how to act. What is this person's name? General Dox or whatever. They just want to protect the sacred timeline. That's all they know how to do. That's all she knows how to do. And in her mind, that means they got to get rid of all the branch timelines. But of course, B15 and them, like, they don't want to do that because it's killing people. Like, now that they know the truth, right? And the judge is listening to all of this. Again, they're listening to Loki's message. General Dox want to blow everything up. And Loki, in the past now, he's in the same room, but he's playing a different recording. Now, his recording is from He Who Remains. he is praising Renslayer. Remember Renslayer? He's praising her for making a difference in the multiversal war. And he said he would be proud to lead with her. So she played some critical role in ending the multiversal war. Well, I'm sure we'll find that out later. But again, remember, Loki is in the past, and that was a past He Who Remains who already conquered the TVA. So Renslayer, I'm assuming, has been in on it from the very beginning. While it seems like everyone else in the TVA is busy getting their minds wiped every single time, right? Let's see. Then we got so they're still arguing and debating. But the judge basically was like, look, forget all of this. It sounds like at the end of the day, we got to stop pruning the branches, but while they're making this decision, Loki pops right back in to the present and exposes while he's here. I have no idea why this dude was here. Like, I guess this was a joke or something. I have no idea why he's here. But Loki pops in from his time slipping and exposes what was in the past. He shows them what was currently covered up with the timekeeper nonsense, and that it was He Who Remains, and maybe even the Council of Kangs, that were always running this place from the jump. And then we got this weird thing going on here. Do y'all know what the hell's going on with this? Like, I don't like what is going on with General Docs and X5? Like, are they is this a weird relationship that they in, or is this like mother-daughter or like mother-son type of thing? Is it a paternal thing? I'm just saying you're not going up to your commanding officer like that. What did y'all think was going on with them here? Like, was it I hope it's paternal and maternal. I hope it's that. I hope. But it definitely was weird. And yeah, come on, Disney. Don't be getting too weird on us now. I know y'all want to be woke and all, but let's not get that woke now. Let's chill out. Anyway, now again, keep in mind we're in the present here. Loki explains to Mobius what happened at the end of time. He told him about He Who Remains, and he warned that a multiversal war is coming. He talks about how He Who Remains was running things and why Mobius can't remember any of it. Mobius said that it was impossible, for time travel to happen in the TVA. And obviously, Loki keeps on time slipping. So, like, it is possible, that's clearly a lie. And he tried to call Miss Minutes, but Loki stopped him from doing that because he was like, yo, like, no, we can't trust her because she's also working with He Who Remains. So it was interesting to see this time slipping and stuff because it did kind of look similar to what was going on with Ant-Man in Quantum Mania. We did see him in the Quantum Storm where basically every possibility that could exist existed at the same time. And because time worked differently, he was able to like see those possibilities. Now we'll get to it a little bit later as to what's actually going on with Loki. But it seems like a similar thing of time displacement is happening with him. But in order to fix this whole time slipping thing, because it's clearly a bigger issue for them, Mobius takes Loki down to RNA and they meet Ouroboros, or Obi, played by Ki Hugh Kwan. And I gotta say, he was definitely one of my favorites. This was probably one of the best castings they've done. He was so delightful, so funny. Definitely enjoyed him. And his, just all of the banter. The writing was perfect. He'd be like, oh, Mobius, it's so good to see you again, And Mobius was trying to play it off and just be like, oh yeah, remember that time I came? He's like, no, I don't remember that. But like he never gets mad. He never gets mad about nothing. He's just kind of like, it is what it is. Happy to see y'all, So I really, really enjoyed his character. I thought he was really funny. But as they're talking, Loki ends up time slipping again, but this time to the past. And now that he's in the past, he's do I have a picture of him? Yes. Okay, so he time slipped into the past, And now he's talking to the old version of Obi, right? So the old version doesn't have glasses. Now, this allows the old version of Obi to have a conversation with Loki, and that actually informs the present day version of Obi. So as Obi is talking to Mobius, he's starting to remember things that Loki told him in the past. Now we're seeing all this happen at the same time, but this is what's going on with this time dilation or whatever. So Obi tells he basically tells Loki that he's gonna need a temporal extractor. And this temporal extractor, in case y'all forgot, in like the first episode of Loki season 1, they have these things called temporal auras that was basically like your fingerprint in time. Everybody has a very distinct one. All of Loki's variants have their own distinct one. And right now, apparently, his aura is all over the place, all over time, spread out. So, what they need is basically a temporal extractor. So, what this extractor is going to do is take all the little versions of Loki, this version, and suck it all into one. And that's going to bring him back and make him stop slipping. If that makes sense, I hope it did, because that's really the best. That's the best we got. But Loki in the past obviously is like, yo, we don't have this temporal thing. Can you make one? And Obi was like, yeah, cool, no problem, I got it. And Loki was like, all right, cool, can you save this for a couple hundred years for when my friend needs it? And Obi was like, all right, I got you. Matter of fact, bam, there it is. It's right there. So now that they have the temporal extractor and everything, this is a way for them to go ahead, but and fix Loki. But one other rule that was stated was that he's gonna have to prune himself in order to have this whole thing work. Now, the reason why he needs to prune himself is because, again, Loki. Okay, let's maybe explain it a different way. Because Loki went to the end of time, right? When he went to He Who Remains, that was a place completely out of time. Now, that already is a contradiction, because we had learned, or at least we were told, that the TVA already was outside of time, right? Or that time just worked differently there. So that was already conflicting. But the fact that Loki was outside of time, he was at the end of time, right? So time was done where he was in that big citadel with, He Who Remains. Coming back into the timeline, I guess his aura split up. So he had a piece of him in the past, a piece of him in the present, a piece of him in the present, all at the same time. All at the same time. Everything was happening, right? So by pruning himself, it takes him out of the timeline completely, because he would go to the void, but that temporal extractor would like grab him at the precise time and he'd be okay. Now, in case anybody else is even more confused, Marvel had already spent all this time with Infinity War, with Endgame, telling us about time travel, saying that, like, oh, well, it's not like Back to the Future. And if you go back in time, you're really causing a parallel branch and all this stuff. But now they are using Back to the Future rules. So in case you didn't realize that, the TVA is clearly on a linear timeline, okay? Because there are different ways to go about time. You could do the what we've seen with the main sacred timeline, which is if you do something and you go off the path, boom, it's going to cause an extra branch. But now, because they're on the TVA, everything is on the same timeline. So if you're in the present and you go to the past still informs the present. If you go to the future, like it's all, everything is connected on the same timeline. There are no branching. There's no branch alternate timelines in the TVA. All right. So again, I hope that makes sense for anybody. But this is going to have some more implications because of the fact that the time works differently here. And I'll tell you, that'll have an implication at the end of this episode. I'll tell you all about that in a second. So we got the extractor. He has to prune himself. And now they have to deal with this other issue because somebody didn't pay the light bill or whatever at the TVA, and it is a problem. Oh wait, there was something else. Back to Future Rules. Oh, yes. So, something else to consider. If it is true that the TVA is on this linear timeline, this makes more sense as to why Renslayer would be able to wipe people's minds. Now, if y'all remember, Mobius had already talked about how his mind had been wiped, or I'm sorry, he didn't talk about it, but it appeared as though his mind had already been wiped before. It was back when he was in the office with Renslayer and he was having his drink, and that circle was left on the table. And she was like, "Oh yeah, they're all from you." And he was like, "I don't remember that." So there could be some time hopping going on, maybe even with her. I mean, think about it like this. Where did she go? Remember when she left at the end of season 1 in Loki, where did she go? And maybe it's not where, but when. Did she go back further in the past? Maybe she went back to the point where He Who Remains is still around, and she's like, all right, we got to fix things. So don't be surprised if the He Who Remains version comes back, because and he did tell that to Sylvie too. He was like, man, whatever, you can kill me now, it don't matter, I'll be back. And it's probably because Renslayer keeps him coming back. So just theory, something to think about, just something to think about. Anyway, so now that they know that the TVA is a problem, now they have to go deal with the temporal loom, and the temporal loom is basically overloading, and it is something that they have to fix. Obi says that basically the temporal loom is the heart of the TVA, and it's where raw time is refined into physical time. Now, Marvel, what the hell does that even mean? What does that even mean? What are you talking about? Like, y'all just... I'm a sci-fi nerd. I love sci-fi. But I felt like Marvel was just pulling stuff out their butt at this point. Y'all just sitting there talking about like, oh, so there's all this time, but then we got this machine that takes all the time and makes the time into one timeline, and it turns it into physical time. Like, what? So it wasn't physical before? Like, what do you... I'm just... these writers, I'm just saying, it's a little weird. Anyway, as you can see here in the middle, this big machine takes all these different strands of time and it weaves it just like a real loom that weaves fabric together. It's making it into one, but because there are so many branches happening now with the timeline, because that is an actual issue, too many threads are going into this machine, which is causing it to overload. Okay, so just think of it like that. It's too many threads. It can't, do the same thing that it used to do. It's too much. So Obi tells Mobius that he's gonna have to go he's gonna have to go outside the blast doors to extract Loki before it's too late. By the way, pay attention. He did write the word skin right there on the on that monitor. And Obi also tells Loki that, yo, you got this little timer, and this is gonna let you know when you need to prune yourself because time is short. And he was like, yo, you only got about like an hour left. And then it was like, nah, it's like it was only 5 minutes. So I actually kind of like that joke. That was pretty funny. Loki, before he can like really give any parting words or anything, he already time slipped out of there and he was gone. So now they got to get to work. So Mobius gets a suit. He starts to go outside. He's got to try and find Loki. Now Loki ended up going into the future, right? So now he's seeing the TVA. You can see the branches here. It's at critical mass. I think, and y'all tell me if I'm wrong or if you think differently, I think Loki only went a couple minutes into the future. I don't think he went that far into the future. Because when he went into the room, he saw the same monitor with dust that Mobius had just touched and just wrote the word skin on. So I think he just went a couple minutes into the future at that point. But time is ticking for Loki. We see here that this is a better picture of the loom. We see all these branches still getting overloaded, and the machine is not working, and Mobius is out there trying to get this all together to get Loki back. Now it's time. The timer has gone off, and Loki has got to find a now again, he's in the future. He's got to find a stick to like basically prune himself. He's looking around, and all of a sudden a phone starts to ring. Now I don't know why the phone was ringing, but I have a very good feeling that we need to remember this. So don't forget the collect call that somebody was making. It's kind of random that during a crisis, somebody's calling that. So I think it's more important than we might be assuming. But anyway, as he's walking towards the phone, I think he's really starting to give up. He's really kind of thinking to himself, like, man, whatever, it's a done. I'm done for. Maybe I'll answer this call and then I'll just die, and we also see Obi closing the doors, the blast doors. It's time. He can't give Loki any more time. And as Loki walks closer to the door, the elevator door opens, and boom, there goes Sylvie inside. And while she's inside, we also know that the Docs, General Docs, is sending all these troops to go prune the timelines and to go find Loki. But while Loki sees her, she says something like, "Oh, there you are." And right before he can respond, boom, Loki gets pruned. And the moment he gets pruned, the extractor works. He finally gets in. He's good. He's safe. Now with more Mobius, and again, the rest of the TVA folks, they are ready to go and continue their mission to kill all those other timelines and prune them all. Now, I hope y'all actually saw it and didn't miss it, but there was a post-credit scene, and it was with Sylvie. So we go to a branch timeline, this time in Braxton, Oklahoma, 1982. So again, this is not the main timeline. It's in one of the alternate ones. And now we got our first look at, our second look of Sylvie. And this is fresh after she killed He Who Remains. So 9 times out of 10, she probably has his temp pad, which is probably like the best temp pad that they have. So she can go wherever she wants. She can go on any, timeline that she wants at this point. And she stopped in at a McDonald's, and while she's at McDonald's, she's looking around. She's seeing people have a good time. She's seeing family and friends and everybody loving it. They loving it. And she's just like, yeah, give me that McRib. I want the McRib. Extra pickles, hold the onions, little extra sauce. I'm going to stay right here. All right. So that was the end of the first episode. Now, there is one thing that I think some of y'all might have this question, because I know I had this question as well. Where is it at? Who the hell did this? Who the hell pruned Loki? Because keep in mind, there was a crisis. Everybody was running around. What is going on? So that is the big question, right? Who pruned Loki? Now, I'm going to give y'all my little quick theory about this and who it could be. And why it needs to happen, right? So I believe when it comes to who pruned Loki, it could be a couple people. It could be Mobius, right? Keep in mind, I do believe that this was only a couple minutes into the future. So maybe Mobius was running around and he got him. I don't know. Maybe. Um, or maybe it was Obi. Maybe Obi found a way to find, Loki and prune him. Maybe it was B-15. I don't know. Maybe. But I think even though they're like possible candidates of who could have pruned them, because they were the only ones that knew why Loki, like what Loki was doing. They were the only ones. But I don't think that they were it. I think that the biggest clue that we have is what Sylvie said. When Sylvie came through on the elevator, the first thing she said was, "There you are." So if she said, "There you are," that means that either she was looking for Loki, or because they were in the future. So she was either looking for Loki in the future, or Loki was already with her. So if future Loki is already with Sylvie, then our present Loki, who's now in the future, probably got pruned by future Loki. Keep in mind, Back to the Future rules. And I think this might have caused a potential time paradox because future Loki had to prune himself in order to even exist in the first place. There would be no future Loki if that Loki from the present that traveled to the future didn't get pruned. Confusing, maybe. So I would not be surprised if the big reveal later on, like in the last, I don't know, episode 6 or whatever, is we see Loki going back in time to the TVA, and he literally has to do that to himself, because if he doesn't, he would not exist. So I wouldn't be surprised if he was the one to prune himself. But if y'all think otherwise, if you have a better idea, please let me know. I'd be very, very interested to hear it. But I think the other question is like, when it comes to this episode, one other question I have is like, why was he time slipping in the first place? Now I get it. Sylvie, maybe because she has that super temp pad, maybe that's why she's not time slipping. And I'm wondering, was the time slip just a gimmick? Was it only something to give us something? Was it only something done to give us some entertainment for this first episode, or does the time slipping have a deeper meaning? Because again, they made a big deal about how time slipping should not happen in the TVA. So I'm kind of wondering if there's a deeper meaning with the time slipping. I don't know. And I like the fact that, I understood Sylvie going to the McDonald's. I thought that was just a way for her to finally be at peace. She'd been on the run, jumping from different timelines and stuff, living in apocalypses and stuff like that. She's finally able to, just chill, and be like, "Oh, y'all happy here? Y'all having a good time? McDonald's might be the joint." Okay, but anyway, that's it for the episode, guys. This is the point where I need to know, what did y'all rate it? What is your rating on the scale from 0 to 10 for episode 1 season 2 of Loki? While you guys talk about that, I will give you my thoughts. Man, the writing was interesting. I'm giving them points for creativity. It did get a little heady though for me. I mean, time travel is already messy. It's already messy because it's fictional. I'm gonna be more lenient with this because I think there are things that we just don't know yet. I like the idea of jumping from the past to the present. It was a little confusing, but I like the fact that it could potentially set up a nice payoff later on. So I do like that for now. It's just up to them to stick to the landing. Um, Good acting, not a lot of action, but at the same time, a good setup, I guess, for what's to come. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and give this an 8 out of 10. Good start. I thought it was a good start. I'm intrigued. I want to see where this goes. I need to see, what are we doing next? So I can't wait to see more after this. So I will go with an 8 out of 10. Let's see what the people think though. We got an 8, we got a 10, 6 or 7, 8, 7, 10, 7, 10 out of 10. All right. Hold on, did I get you? Yeah, 10 out of 10. 8, 8, 8. All right. 9, 8, 8, 7, 8, 8.5, 10, 10, 5.5. Damn, you didn't like it that much? 10, 9, 10, 5.5, 8, 8.5. Okay, cool, cool, cool. 9, 8.9, 9. Who else we get? 8, 10, 8, and 8. All right, cool, cool. So it seems like overall we liked it. It seems like it was definitely something more interesting than not. What you got here, Jetta? What'd you say here? Did you notice the door? It was similar to the X-Men door. Which door are we talking about? Are we talking about the one from which one are you talking about? Is it this one? You talking about the blast doors. Yeah, okay, yeah, interesting. Okay, sure. I'm not opposed to it. Now I'm not now. The basement door. Yes. Okay, gotcha. Yes, I do recall that. Now I am not gonna go running with this, and I would not recommend anybody go running just because you see a door with an X does not mean that it's X-Men. Maybe it is. More likely it's not. I don't think the X-Men are chilling in the TVA. But yes, now that you bring it up, I do notice that similarity. Now that you bring it to my attention. So thank you. Thank you for bringing that up. I just don't want people getting their hopes up. That's all. We're not gonna do the Mephisto thing again. Okay, we're not gonna do that. All right, guys. That was it. That was it for the episode. I think we liked it. I think does this format work? Are we going to stick with Fridays for the Loki one? I can add it to the last of the live if that works for you guys. We can keep doing that. I think hold on. We got my man, just my opinion. What you got, brother? Thank you so much. How you feel? Sam Hargrave, Extraction, directs Thor 5 and Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty. Jon Favreau, okay, to direct Secret Wars. Russo brothers direct X-Men. I wouldn't be opposed to Sam doing Thor 5, although my only curiosity would be I don't know if Sam can deliver with good enough writing. I don't know if he can bring that to life. Because I think that Thor is more than just action. Obviously, we know he could do action, but I think Thor's best moments have been when we learn more about his character, when his character, like when he grieves, not when he's fat or whatever, but like, oh man, I lost my brother, I lost my sister, I lost my mom, my dad. Like, it's just me. I'm a king and I gotta rule all these people. Like, you do still need good writing for the character. So I don't know if Sam can deliver that. And I don't know if just a good action thing would be enough. And I definitely would not give Sam Avengers 5 Kang Dynasty. No, I would want if you want to give that to the Russos, if you want to give that to them, they can handle Kang Dynasty. And Favreau Secret Wars, maybe I'd probably switch it. I'd probably give because the Russos can deal with ensembles better. I'd probably give Favreau X-Men. I think Favreau can deal with X-Men better, because I think X-Men would be a good movie for setup more so than, okay, here's one X-Men movie and that's it. And Favreau has delivered, at least with Iron Man and with Mandalorian, he knows how to set up a good franchise. So I would give X-Men to Favreau instead. And let Russo brothers cook with Secret Wars. Like they've already said they wanted Secret Wars. They said they wanted Secret Wars back in 2018. So I would do that. We don't know who is doing Thor 5. It is assumed that Taika is still gonna do it. It's assumed. But we'll have to see. Can we get Spike Lee to direct Kang Dynasty? I don't know. I don't know if that's his thing. I can't say that I'd be very iffy if Spike Lee were doing it. I'd be very iffy. Kevin Costner for Thor 5, all action. Nah, no thanks. Not for me. No thanks. All action is very superficial. It's not long lasting. Unless you have a fantastic, amazing writer that can carry the load, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna go in one ear and out the other. It's gonna go in one eyeball and out the other. It's superficial. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're gonna be like, damn, that was great action, and you're not gonna care. You need somebody that can give us the action for sure, but we gotta have a good ass story too. We got to have something compelling if you want it to last and be meaningful. And I don't think we're really just gonna be sitting here just to watch action. Like, go watch John Wick or something, for that. But anyway, I think we're all caught up. Yes, I think we are. All right, guys. That's it. It's past my bedtime already. I got some more videos I gotta post. I gotta post replays. I gotta chop this up for the replay gang and all that. But I want to thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I really, really appreciate it each and every time. Trust me, I do not take that lightly. And I definitely respect your time as well. Like I said, stay tuned. I know the wife's birthday is coming up next weekend, so I'm gonna see. She's asleep right now, so I could talk about it. I don't know if I'm throwing something for her. I don't know if I'm sending her away. I don't know yet, but I have to figure something out. But just stay tuned, and we'll talk about when we're gonna go live and all of that good stuff. But you guys know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts. Please wash all in between as well. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself, and I'll see you guys later.